All right, four-time PGA champion Tiger Woods joins us now at the 106th PGA Championship. Tiger, welcome back to Valhalla and your 23rd PGA Championship. You were part of one of those most memorable finishes in this championship's history back in 2000. When you look back at that, what do you remember most?
Well, I just remember the pressure that I felt with the chance and opportunity to do something that Ben Hogan did in 1953, and the summer it was a whirlwind. I was playing well, and then coming into this event, be able to play with Jack in his last PGA Championship, and then also just the timeline. It was Jack played with Gene Sarazen at his last PGA, and I was playing with Jack in his last PGA. So just the connection with all that, and obviously making the putt on 18 and getting into the playoff and making a nice putt on the 16th hole, running after it. A lot of great memories from that week, and be able to go head-to-head with Bob Bay, who was arguably probably one of the best junior golfers that Southern Cal ever produced, and it was a fun week, and it was fun, unbelievable moments, really.
Great, thanks, Tiger. We'll open it up for questions, starting with Jeff.
Tiger, just expanding on that a little bit. When you look at this great collection of victories and majors you've won, where does that Sunday with Bob May fit in?
Well, I think that the duel between us both, I think, if I remember this correctly, Bob shot 3 straight 66s. And our back 9, we both shot 31 on the back 9, with leading the championship, and both of us playing as well as we did, with all that pressure, and we kept feeding off of one another. He'd make a putt, I'd make a putt, I'd make a putt, he'd make a putt. And it was a fun back 9, and that was the first year they went to the 3-hole playoff. And when we got in the scoring table, I remember that we were informed it was a 3-hole playoff, and Bob was completely shocked by that, because I don't think that it really got out that much that potentially it could be the way it plays out, going back to 16, as I said, I made a nice putt there and ran after it. He made an unbelievable chip from the right rough and almost holed it. Again, we never really missed shots on that back 9, and then in the 3-hole playoffs, and for us to shoot those lowest scores, it was special.
We'll go to Mike 9, followed by 7, 6, and 1.
Tiger, since the last time that you were
Yes.
here in 2014, do you feel like the course has changed a great deal, or is it pretty much the same place?
It's gotten bigger. It got a little bit longer. I think they extended six tees since we played in 14, and opened up some of the areas so there's more flow, less trees. It's definitely different than when we played in 2000. But it's still the same framework that we played in 2000, and so the same corridors, but it just got a little bit bigger, a little bit longer, just like all golf courses and all championships that we go to now. I'm looking forward to one of the day they said we shorten this hole up, because it seems like every time we come back and play, it's always getting longer.
7.
Tiger, state of your game, state of your body, and state of your ability to play what's a pretty hilly golf course?
Yeah, my body's okay. It is what it is. I wish my game was a little bit sharper. I don't have a lot of competitive reps, so having to rely on my practice sessions and getting stuff done either at home or here on site. But at the end of the day, I need to be ready mentally and physically come Thursday. And these days of practicing, getting on the golf course, and that's one of the reasons I came up here on Sunday, just knock off some of the work that I have to do and charting greens, get all that stuff done early, and so I can focus on literally playing and plotting my way around.
Dan?
Over here.
Hey.
The internet is loving the goatee. Is it is that a conscious choice or laziness, and is it here all week?
It's the second. I'm definitely lazy. So I cut myself this morning trying to trim it up. So it is what it is.
Mike 1?
Tiger, 10 years ago when you were here, you were dealing with back issues, and
Yeah.
it obviously got worse, and you went through a lot. How is it compared to then? I mean, is it better, or are you just dealing with something different with your back now as you try to play?
It's not different. At that time, I was maybe one back procedure into it. Now it's a hell of a lot more of that number. Back is now fused, as you know. Yeah, coming into 14, I wasn't feeling very good. But, I'm always going to feel soreness and stiffness in my back, but that's okay. Just need other body parts to start feeling better.
Back to 1, Mark?
Excuse me.
Hey, Tiger. We just had Max in here earlier this morning, and he was talking about the 2 rounds he played with you at Augusta, and was raving about what you still do on the golf course and the shots you're still able to hit. I'm curious how much of a tease is it for you when you know you still have it in there, even at this age, and how do you kind of deal with that as you go?
Yeah, Mark, I mean, I can still hit shots. It's getting around is, the more of the difficulty that I face on day to day, and the recovery of pushing myself either in practice or in competition days. I mean, you saw it at Augusta. I was there after 2 days and didn't do very well on the weekend.
Just as a quick follow, do you still feel like you have it in you because you're still able to hit those shots in your mind?
Yeah,
where
I
is it
still
at?
feel that I can win golf tournaments. I still feel I can hit the shots and still feel like I have my hands around the greens and I can putt. I just need to do it for all 4 days, not like I did at Augusta for only 2.
We'll go next to Mike 14, followed by 20, 12, and 10.
Tiger, given the news yesterday
Yeah.
that Jimmy Dunn said that there's been no meaningful progress made on the divide in golf right now, what's your level of confidence that an agreement will get done at all, much less on any kind of schedule?
Well, I think we're working on negotiations with PIF. It's ongoing. It's fluid. It changes day to day. Has there been progress? Yes. But it's an ongoing negotiation. So a lot of work ahead for all of us with this process. And so we're making steps, and it may not be giant steps, but we're making steps.
20?
Tiger, what are just following on from that? What are the specific things that you would like to see for a deal to go ahead? And are you personally open to a deal with the Saudis?
Well, I'm not going to comment on whether or not our negotiations and in that nature, except that we're making steps. That's all I can say.
Are you personally open to it?
I'm personally involved in the process.
Mike 12?
Tiger, as a dad who's a golf pro, what advice would you have for Scotty Scheffler?
Say that again.
As a dad who's a golf professional, what advice would you have for Scotty Scheffler?
Get some sleep. I mean, he's got obviously he and Meredith, fantastic. Having their first, and those are as we all of us who have had children. Those are some tough years and ahead of them. As I said, trying to get some rest and as much as you possibly can. I mean, he's #1 player in the world, and having a great, stable family life at home is important to having a great life out here on tour.
Oh, 10, then 11.
Hey, Tiger, right
Yeah.
over here. The crowds you still see for practice rounds, or even just the people who come out to watch you now at 48, Do you feel differently when you see that now as opposed to even maybe 10 years ago or 5 years ago?
I think I appreciate it more now. Just the fact that I don't come out here very often. I don't play much, and I'm at home where it's quiet, and it's so different to come out to practice rounds when there's thousands of people out there, like it was at Augusta, and a bunch of people came out today. Unfortunately, the weather didn't really cooperate. I'm sure there'll be a lot more tomorrow now that it's cleared out. But appreciating the warmth and the support of the fans is something that I probably 10 years ago I certainly didn't appreciate that then as much as I do now.
Mike 8 or 11, sorry.
Yeah.
Tiger, Rory said last week in Charlotte that you and him see the future of golf a little bit differently. What's your position? What do you see as the future?
Well, I think that we see it's good to see it differently, but collectively as a whole, we want to see whatever's best for all the players, the fans, and the state of golf. And how we get there, that's to be determined, but the fact that we're in this together and in this fight together to make golf better is what it's all about.
All right, now to Mike 8, followed by 2.
Tiger, Justin mentioned earlier when he was in here that, one of his core memories here is watching you when he was a kid, when in 2000 here. What's your sense for what, as close as you are to him, what this means for him to have this championship in his hometown?
Well, I think that, I don't know if DT was in diapers still or not, but I think that having a major come to your hometown where you grew up and it's special for him, it's special for Mike and Janny and everyone who's been involved in his life, and this is where it's his hometown. And the fact that he's able to play in a major championship where he grew up is special. Unfortunately, I can't say that I ever have, just because I missed the U.S. Open at LA Country Club. Would have been nice to play in my hometown. But to have JT come here, and he's going to get the appreciation and the fans and the ovations are going to be loud for him, as they should be.
Rex?
Tiger.
Yeah, Rex.
You said at the Masters that you were going to talk to Seth after that week about maybe captaining next year's Ryder Cup team. Did that meeting take place, and if so, is there any update?
We're still talking. There's nothing that has been confirmed yet. We're still working on what that might look like, and also whether or not I have the time to do it. I'm dedicating so much time to what we're doing with the PGA Tour. I don't want to not fulfill the role of the captaincy if I can't do it. What that all entails, and representing Team USA, and the commitments to the PGA of America, the players, and the fans, and as I said, all of Team USA. I need to feel that I can give the amount of time and that it deserves.
Right, back to 2, then to 6.
Tiger, Scotty's playing with a consistency that is very reminiscent of you at your peak, and Rory showed, like on Sunday, he has another gear, which is also reminiscent of you at your peak. What do you see when you watch those two play golf?
Well, two very different styles. Obviously, with Scotty's, what he does through the golf ball and with his footwork, or you have Rory, who has arguably the best finish of his swing, in golf. It looks like a statue, right? They're two totally different players. The commonality is, I think, is the focus, and when you're on the range and watching them hit golf balls, or more so listening to them hit golf balls, there's a different sound to it because they just don't miss the middle of the face. And I think obviously Scotty's not as long as Rory, and he can't probably separate himself on a golf course like that with pure length. But his ball striking, the amount of greens he hits, he just wears you out that way. And then his amazing pair of hands around the greens. If he putts awful, then he finishes in the top 10. He putts decent, he wins. He putts great, he runs away. So he's just that good a ball striker and that good of an all-around player. And Rory, just the way he's able to take over a golf course and just overpower it. I kind of remember that back when I was younger. It's been a while.
Adam?
Tiger, in resigning from the PGA Tour board yesterday, Jimmy Dunn assessed his role as superfluous. Do you agree with that?
No, I think that Jimmy, and the amount of work and dedication that he put into the board and to the PGA Tour, it's been incredible. And it was a bit surprising that he resigned yesterday and just how it all came about. But no, his role and his help and then what he's been able to do for the PGA Tour, it's been great.
We'll finish up with Mike 18, 20, 12, and 13.
Tiger, you've talked in the past couple of years about how you've got the shots, but maybe it's managing your body and the walk of 72 or 90 holes. What does this course present as a challenge to your body?
Well, it's I wouldn't say the walk's that difficult. I know it's a long walk. It's a big piece of property. More than anything, just stay out of the rough. This is a big golf course, and if you get in the rough here, things could get a little bit sore. But if I drive it well and do the things I need to do and what I did 24 years ago, hopefully it works.
Tiger, in resigning, Jimmy Dunn sort of hinted at the fact that the players kind of hold the majority on the policy board. Do you believe that the players are best qualified to hold sway in terms of determining the future?
Well, the PGA Tour is for the players and by the players. So we have an influence, and there's roles for the player directors and there's roles for the independents. And we're trying to make the PGA Tour the best it can be, day in and day out. That's one of the reasons why we have arguments and we have disagreements, but we want to do what's best for everyone in golf and the tour. Without those kind of conflicts, I don't think there's going to be that much, the progress is not going to be there. So it's been good.
Tiger, hey, obviously this is not going to be an apples-to-apples comparison, but you've played Augusta so many times, you've played Torrey Pines so many times, and given that you've won there and you've won here, is there just a comfort level in coming back to a course where you know how to get the job done?
Yeah, it's been 24 years, and 10 years ago I did not play very well, but the memories of coming back here and reliving some of the shots that I was able to pull off back then. We were talking earlier this week, Wednesday last week when we came up, and how many 2-irons I used to hit, off this property. Now everything is drivers, just because they moved it back. It's longer. I mean, the first hole I hit driver in a 60-degree sandwich in there. Today I hit a driver in a 5-wood, so it's a bit different.
Tiger, earlier you mentioned the state of golf and fans, and I'm wondering from your vantage point where you think that relationship stands now and why.
Well, I think that the fans are probably as tired as we are of the talk of not being about the game of golf and not being about the players. It's about what LIV is doing, what we're doing. Players coming back, players leaving. The fans just want to see us play together. And how do we get there is to be determined.
How much damage do you think has been done by all of this?
We've made some progress, yes, for sure. but there's a long way to go still.
All right. Thanks for your time, Tiger. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it.